just so we can clarify, really, as laid out in the situation around the DRS procurement. Some of us read stuff in newspapers, which, not normally is a word, but is in end times. And so on and so forth. Suddenly there was talk of joint ventures, which seemed to have moved us on. So I just thought this was an opportunity for the executive to lay out the position as they see it around possible joint venture, and for members of this committee to reason on that. So who's going to lead?
Should I make an opening comment there, if I may, Mr. Chairman, that I have not yet seen any papers or outline case for a joint venture at all. And so it would be a very steep hill to climb to persuade me that that was a good idea.
Right, okay, so that's fairly clear for the leader of the council. They couldn't be clearer, in effect. I think that probably reflects the experience of other members, whether they're on the executive or in the scrutiny function. Okay, are there any questions or comments? Marvellous, good, well then. Well, I fancy my supper, frankly, but so members have comments, then I'm not inviting them if they don't like. So, Councillor Moore.
Thank you, Chair. The issue, and you quite rightly raised the issue of the joint venture, and members will remember that at the options appraisal stage, the decision was very clearly for strategic partnership, and I will be quite clear about that being a frustrating options appraisal process. And we've had a response around, well, the joint venture was never off the table, it was there in the updated business case as a single line, actually in the paper, not mentioned in the lead paper at all. So I've got a set of questions to try and tease this out. I just want to clarify what you've said, Councillor Cornelius. Has a decision of any sort been taken around the DRS to be done by a joint venture, and you seem to be indicating that wasn't the case? Is the council still negotiating with the bidders on the basis of a strategic partnership? And what's the current likelihood of the final DRS agreement being via a joint venture company? And I'll get the answers to those, and I'll probably have a couple of follow-ups.
The answer is, of course, that no, as I said, no case has been made for it. I mean, if a case is made and it comes forward with enormous projected savings, then of course it is something that we would look at very carefully. However, it would require a deal of persuasion to make me shift towards believing that was a sensible outcome.
I have to say, for once, I think it always is the leader's been very clear. It's quite right and proper for the leader to say, suddenly the joint venture proposal produced 50 million of savings. It was, I suppose, the leader will jump at it, but his position has been made quite clear. Your question takes further.
Yeah, they do. I mean, clearly, I've done a bit of reading up about joint ventures, did at the time, and have read and refreshed some of that. And clearly it takes different forms. And the reason that my understanding and memory from the options appraisal stage was that actually the risks, it presented significant greater risks to the council. So I just want to know, in this being potentially on the table, have you started to look at any options appraisal around the different models that are around?
Can I answer that? The answer is I have not. Officers have been closeted with the bids as they've come in and are going through the reading of the documents that have come. As far as I'm concerned, there has been no report to me about that, but I look forward to that and actually seeing things myself. But I can only really refer to my previous answer. If there is a case made for a JV that is entirely convincing, then fine. But there are risks involved, and it's not something that we set out initially to do.
So,
I mean, I share your frustration with the whole European procurement process. I mean, and one couldn't really have thought of a more complicated way to do things, and with with the sort of nightmarish slip that could lead to potential judicial review. I mean, it is something that one does need to be very careful with, and one mustn't rule anything out, I suppose.
So you're quite clear that you haven't, but there potentially there's work going on, so I'm kind of trying to be careful how I ask this. Has outline option business case been looked at for a joint venture, and is that full work being done around the risk and relative benefits?
Sorry, Councillor, I think the leader has answered this question. I know you're trying to get something out of him which he's not going to say, and you've now asked, I think, the same question in 3 different ways, and you're a very experienced and clever politician, but I don't think you're going to get the leader to shift any further.
And one final question. There is a risk register around the Barnet projects. Is there any reflection within that of the potential option, given that the Cabinet member has said that the joint venture was still there within the outline, within the updated outline business case? Is that reflected in the full risk register on the Barnet project?
A technical question about the risk register, which the answer is?
I'm afraid, Mr. Chairman, I will need to go and review the register and reply. Off the top of my head, I don't know what it
Well,
is.
presumably the register is available for members to inspect anyway.
Could I have a copy of that? Could I be sent a copy of that risk register?
But Chairman, the business case supporting any proposal will have the risks in there. It will. And we as members will demand that. So yes, Councillor Moore, there will be a risk register with the proposal.
Right. Can I'll take out the members, but can I, Mr. Charwood, there was a question that I said I put to Cabinet members from the public. Mr. Charwood kindly noted, but read out.
Absolutely, it's not verbatim, but the Chairman agreed that the Cabinet member would respond to the question is, can the Cabinet member provide assurance that the competitive dialogue process will not influence the ultimate outcome of the procurement, i.e. to go with a strategic partnership or joint venture?
The answer is no.
Right, okay.